Hello. Today, I want to talk about how to win the school games as a school in the music category. And now, before you listen any longer, if you have no idea who I am, my name is Jack Robinson. I run the Schoolyard, which is a community on Skool that currently ranks just around 130th globally. Schoolyard's been around for about 81 days, and we're already past 500 members, and I did that with no audience. And now I'm going to try my best to just give kind of simple how-to videos that are straight to the point. I don't want to fluff. I'm not even going to ask you to join. I just kind of want to share what's working, and hopefully you guys can appreciate that and have it help your school, and hopefully eventually be able to like retire off of school for your own group. So I want to talk about the music category today because I actually have two clients in the music category. And when I say clients, I help schoolers one-on-one rank on the front page of Skool and make a full-time income from their school business. And so I just wanted to share today kind of what I see working and what I recommend for people that have school groups specifically in the music category. And so if you don't know what Skool is, that's a great question. And so if you're new to Skool, this is Skool. Welcome to Skool. Skool with a K. Skool is cool. There are categories when you go to the discovery page on Skool. And so my group is in money, and I think I'm second page. I'll tell you, that's my friend Jan. Shout out Jan. Goated. But over here, where are we? That is my stinky self and everything I teach. If you're curious, I teach, I don't really teach. I just kind of show people what works for me on how to make money on Skool without social media or DMs, which I know might sound crazy, but we will get into the logistics of that in another video. So I just wanted to show you guys, this is the music category, right? And so if I want you to win the school games in the music category, well, what would that look like? Well, this is the school games. Hello, school games. School games is every quarter in the school games, there are competitions where every school, which is just a community that's hosted online, think like a Facebook group or a Discord or whatever you want to call it. Every quarter, which is 3 months, there is a competition to see what groups can grow their MRR the most for that quarter, for those 3 months. And so if you don't know what MRR is, it stands for monthly reoccurring revenue, which means how much money do you bring in every month. So for my group, I'm sitting at about 3,000 MRR. I can show you guys the number after if you'd like. And that means that, let's say, because it's MRR growth, let's say that today is day one of Q1 2026. There's like day two or something. If I were to go from 3,000 that I'm sitting at right now to 40,000, that would be a 40,000 minus 3,000 difference, aka delta, aka growth, meaning that there would be $37,000 of MRR growth across the quarter. That would probably get me to win the school games because that's quite a lot of MRR growth in a 3-month span. Why it is structured this way is so that the big dogs don't always win, which is really cool because if you are a smaller community like myself, like I'm Jack, you probably don't know who I am yet, but nice to meet you. You probably don't have the sales team or the ads or the budget to spend to get new members and to kind of like work your business the way that the big dogs can that have been doing it forever. And so Skool has specifically designed the school games to work in this way so that people, let's say I'm a millionaire and I make $100,000 a month, but then after Q1, I'm just making $103,000 a month. Someone that started on Skool at $0 and now is making $4,000 ranks higher than me. I think that's really cool. Another even cooler feature is that your MRR, the MRR score that gets counted towards the school game, only works in increments of 100. And so, like, what does that mean? It means that if I've got a product and I sell it for $200 a month, of that $200, 100 of it gets counted towards the school games, meaning that people that sell products that are like $10,000 a month don't get $10,000 counted toward the school games. It's only 100 out of that 10,000, which is really cool. It makes kind of equity and Skool's business plan or business mission or whatever you want to call it, is to help 1 billion people find community, which I find very honorable. And I think their school games is a reflection of that, because if they just wanted to make the most money, well, then they would let the big dogs win. But building community means helping a lot of people. My own personal definition of a good community, of a community in general, is a group of people that gather together around a shared passion and that care about the well-being of the members in that group. And so it's a group of people that care about the members in that group. So a group of people that care about the people and the people's well-being within that group. I think that's a good community. The YMCA, you probably care about the people at the YMCA that you go hang out with. And so I think these are all good definitions to kind of think about when you're building a community. But why I'm going on this tangent is because the community aspect of Skool is its number one selling point. It's not make $1 million. It's not start a millionaire like funnel. It's just gather people around your passion. And if you do it for long enough, you might be able to retire off of the money that your passion has now made you, or at least go full time, which I think is super cool. And so that was an explanation of the Skool games so that I can get into the logic behind why I think the music category has a unique advantage of winning the Skool games over other categories. And so let me get into that right now. When you're at skool.com/schoolers, and then you click on the games tab, you'll be in all by default. And so you can scroll through the hobbies category, the music category, money, etc. As you can see, let's use last quarter, Q4 2025 as an example. In order to win the Skool games for money category, you would have had to gain dollars within those 3 months to your existing MRR, or at least around 40,000. So a lot of damn money. But if you are in the music category, it is not nearly as much money. And so I just wanted to comment on a couple trends that I'm seeing with my clients. So if I click on Discover Communities, and then I go to music, you'll see that 2 of my people are sitting over here. Let's just check them out. There's my friend Jake. So Jake is a client of mine. You'll see his testimonials and ideas and what he shares in my group. This is my group. And then let's find my friend Gary Lee. This is my friend Gary. Okay, so Gary and Jake have both been working with me for about a month. It's been a month for Jake and about 2 weeks for Gary, or maybe a week. And let me tell you what I found in their groups. So let's get into some stats and numbers. I know everybody likes stats and numbers, because why use theory when you can use stats and numbers to tell you what to do and then just take action? So let's look at those. This is my friend Jake's community. Okay, so this is guitar. This is under the hood. So before he started working with me, he had about 0% of his members engaging. And why is 0%? Is because he's got a group of 2.2 thousand members, and he had actually pivoted away from using this group and he wanted to start fresh. When he started working with me, I told him, please do not start fresh. 2,000 members, unless you've been to 2,000 funerals, is still an alive membership. So we started working together, and he went from about 18 to 20 up to 50 members per day logging on to now he's climbing to about 60 members every day logging on. And so why I find this extremely interesting is because there's only 70 members online every day. That's it. And yet he is ranking on the front page of the Skool music category, which is really impressive. Like when you rank on the front page, you get a star next to your name. You'll see right here, look, he's got a little star next to his name, which means by Skool standards that he is kicking butt. His community is popping. That's pretty much what it means. It means that you're a top 1% community. And so to look at these stats and realize that you only need about 70 members active every day to rank on the front page of the music category, it makes it a very interesting niche to go after. So if you're good at music in any capacity and you're really passionate about it, you can open a Skool for just $9 a month. And let me show you how. Is you would just click on create a community. Someone is going to invite you by default just because Skool likes giving back to people within its ecosystem. And then you just create your community, and it's $9 a month. A Big Mac meal costs more than $9, or it's $99 if you go pro, but I recommend you don't go pro until you need to. How do you know if you need to or not? One of the ways is you can navigate to the tools for schools within my community, and then there is a Skool profit calculator that we got logged in here, and then you can just plug in your numbers, how much money you make, blah, 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 blah. And it's going to tell you how much you're making and then whether or not you should change from the $9 or the $99. But I digress. I just wanted to mention that with 70 engaged people or 7 active people every day, he is ranking. Meanwhile, I think myself, because I'm in the money category, so look at that. I've got about double his active members with a quarter of his group size, and yet he is ranking on the front page and I'm not. And that's just because of category difference. I'm not salty about it. I know that just comes with kind of the program, and that's why I wanted to bring it up. And so if you're asking me, Jack, how did he get his community from doing this to doing this? How did he get his community from getting only like 30 activities with a 2,000 people strong group to over 1,000 a couple times, 1,500, 700, 800, right? So like a 100x, or no, that's not math, 10x increase in engagement. What did he do differently? Well, this is what we found worked. You click on the this filter setting, and you go to top, and you check out, okay, what did he do differently within the last, let me get my big fat finger out of the way, within the last 30 days, right? And look at the type of posts he's making. Very simple. If you could buy one guitar, this is the entire post. We wrote it together on a call. That's it. Got 139 comments. What are you listening to right now? Very simple post. Why guitar? Super simple. His own challenge. Also simple. He probably asks a question, right? So the step 3 is posting the community to join the challenge, and then you can, right? And you got questions, and he answers the questions, templates, ask people to post. I think a very, very important thing to do in the music category is get people to share their videos, share their photos, right? Look, one of his top performing posts was just best dad joke. And so I think what we should take from this is that to get a successful Skool community, you should stop writing LinkedIn posts. Nobody wants to see it. This is cold, hard data showing you that asking silly questions and just getting to know your members in a way that you actually care about is what matters. And if you're like, oh, but this is just one guy, there's no way that works for everyone. Well, let's look at Gary. Gary and I's first call was on January 4th, I think. He was sitting at 17% engagement, and then we talked, and now he's at 21% engagement. Boom, boom. And let's look at his numbers. He was sitting at about 400 activities, 200. Before he met me, he had like 80 activities, 40, 100, yada, yada. And then recently, he almost had 1,000 activities. Congratulations, Gary. This is actually the day after our meeting. And then he had 700, and he's on a bit of a hot streak when it comes to activities, which is super impressive. And so how does he do it? How did he get his little jump? Let's look at his top posts, but let's just look for the last week, because why not? The last week worth of posts, what was it? It was, once again, if you could buy one guitar. It was, where are you from? What's your most useless talent, right? He even got one of his members to get a huge post. That's really impressive. I think what I'm trying to get at is the following. If you're trying to win the Skool games, you need to do a couple things. First step is you need to make a lot of money in 3 months, and you need to grow the amount of money you make. That is literally A to Z how you win. You need to make MRR growth in order to win the Skool games. But what are the steps to get to that? Well, a couple steps involve engagement. And I think this is very underrated by most schoolers. They focus on money, 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 but they don't focus on community and actually building a place for people to engage without feeling pressured, without feeling sold to, without feeling kind of manipulated, just like a safe space to be yourself, to hang out. That's what community is about. And so the baby steps that I want you guys to walk away from this, especially if you're in the music category and you want to eventually win the Skool games or make a full-time income off of your favorite instrument, is the following. I think there's 3 things. One is ask a lot of questions. People in the music industry have questions. If I'm playing the guitar, and then I mess up and I mess up and I mess up and I can't get it. If I go to Skool and I look up guitar, I'm going to want to get my solution solved. And if I browse through the communities and I find some on the front page that seem to answer my questions, then I'm going to be super grateful. I'm going to stay in that community for a long time. And because the owner is asking questions, it's going to give me the sense of safety that I can also ask questions at no consequence, right? And I think that's the community you want to foster. It's like you don't want people to feel pressured to like come up to the stage. You just want it to be, you're all on the same playground. I make an analogy in my group that I think a successful Skool community feels like a barbecue. And right, so you walk into the barbecue doors open to everyone. If you have a freemium model, there's different specificities for different type of groups, but you got a freemium model, people walk in the door and then they meet the owner because the owner is hopefully at the barbecue cooking stuff up for the group, giving free food. And then he's like, hey, we love to see you here. Super excited. You should go talk to these people. And then they go talk to those people and then the party continues. And at some point, I think if the owner is making hot dogs, let's say, for 2 months, it's definitely worth asking, hey, do you guys like the hot dogs? And so I'm telling my clients that the more questions that they ask, the better. Because if they ask a super simple question, for example, what's your favorite color? people are going to answer because it doesn't feel like you need to write a LinkedIn post to answer what's your favorite color. I think a lot of people don't understand the dynamics of Skool. They don't understand that you can be yourself, you can be crazy, you can be funny, you can be weird, and you're probably actually going to do better from being weird and being crazy and being all these things. And what I'm starting to tell my clients, and what I'm hopefully showing with the data that I brought up, is that questions and questioning using your posts in your community category will increase your engagement, which then increases your rank on the Skool pages. So, when you look up Google, you look up, I don't know, how to build a pencil case on Google. There's Google page 1, Google page 2, Google page 3, and then there's SEO, which is getting them a rank higher. Well, Skool's SEO is what page are you on? And that's determined by discovery rank. And so let me get into that quickly just so I'm not confusing you. Discovery rank is this, okay? So you can get discovered by millions of users by ranking on the Skool pages. And so I'm 43 in the money category. And groups will need a minimum threshold of members, posts, and activities to just show in discovery at all. Okay, there's 1,000 discovery spots per category. And so then how to rank is you're going to be ranked by member growth, engagement, and retention. Okay. And there's boosts and penalties. So boost is if you have like a good artwork and a about page. You've got an interesting niche. There's actual real engagement. And the owner is active. But then having like bots or fake accounts, spam, low quality artwork, payments off platform, all these things are going to punish you in terms of how high you rank on essentially the pages of Skool. And a very cool system is that to prevent people from gaming the system, we have a human in the loop. So someone that actually will manually review these pages, see if they're legit or not. And so I think that's really cool. But discovery is just how high on Skool's discovery page, aka their kind of like home page or front page, do you rank? And so if you can get your members to engage, Skool and the Skool like person and the human in the loop is going to see, oh, Jack has a legit community where people actually enjoy hanging out. We're going to try to show his community to more people. And so with my clients, especially in the music industry, when you ask questions and you prompt people to share the videos of them messing up, and you promote a culture of we mess up together and we therefore laugh at each other and get better and we get to know each other by asking questions, I think just asking a crap ton of questions in your community day in and day out increases your engagement and also builds a culture that someone joins your school in the music category and they see that this school is always asking questions. And so they see the owner asking questions. And then if the owner asks questions, why wouldn't I ask a question? If the owner is asking a silly question, why wouldn't I ask a silly question? And when you can kind of promote, I think, that sense of security that there are no wrong answers and I can just ask whatever question I want, I think that's where you start to win and your community starts to rank higher and you might get to the front page of your category and you get that little star emoji. And I think if you guys want to learn more, because there is 2 frameworks that I give out, the triple Y framework and the top 5 secret sauce. I would love to tell you more about those, but my arm's hurting and I got a meeting in 3 minutes. So I'm going to close this video now. I hope this was helpful. If you're in the music category, just know that there's a huge opportunity right now and you can kick butt. And all you have to do is ask your members questions. So I hope that was clear. First YouTube video in a while. I know it probably stinks, but I'll see you guys later. Ciao.